Around 4.7 million years ago, the Earth was a vastly different place from the world we know today. Massive forests and open savannas stretched across continents, filled with towering animals, fierce predators, and unpredictable weather. It was during this time that early ancestors of humans began to emerge, learning how to survive in a world that tested every instinct. These prehistoric beings were not yet the humans we recognize today, but they carried within them the seeds of intelligence, adaptation, and resilience that would one day define our species. Their lives were a constant struggle against hunger, predators, and the forces of nature, yet their determination to survive shaped the course of human evolution. Daily life for these early humans revolved around survival. They woke with the sun, relying on keen observation and instinct to find food and avoid danger. Hunting was primitive and dangerous, often done with sharpened sticks, stones, or by chasing animals until exhaustion. Gathering edible plants, fruits, and roots was equally important, especially for groups living in areas where large game was scarce. The balance between hunter and hunted was delicate. Humans were both predator and prey. They faced threats from saber-toothed cats, giant crocodiles, and packs of wild hyenas that dominated the prehistoric landscape. Every sound in the tall grass or movement in the trees could mean life or death. Fire had not yet been mastered at this time, so warmth came from sunlight and shelter. Early humans often took refuge in caves, hollowed trees, or natural rock formations that protected them from the elements. Rain, cold nights, and scorching heat were constant challenges. These shelters were temporary, as survival required constant movement. Groups migrated with the seasons, following herds and searching for fertile lands where food and water were abundant. This nomadic lifestyle helped them adapt to different environments and eventually spread across large regions of Africa and beyond. Communication among these early humans was limited but essential. They used gestures, facial expressions, and primitive sounds to warn of danger or signal food sources. Over time, these simple forms of communication evolved into more complex vocal patterns that became the early foundation of language. Cooperation within the group was key to survival. Working together to hunt, share food, and protect one another gave them a greater chance of enduring the harshness of prehistoric life. This sense of unity planted the first seeds of social structure, a defining trait of human civilization. The discovery of tools was one of the most significant turning points for prehistoric humans. Sharp stones were used to cut meat, scrape hides, and shape other tools. These small innovations transformed survival, allowing humans to prepare food more efficiently and defend themselves more effectively. Over generations, they learned to select specific stones and refine their shapes, showing early signs of problem solving and intelligence. These simple tools marked the beginning of technology, a trait that would later separate humans from every other species on Earth. As centuries passed, early humans began to understand their environment better. They learned which plants were safe to eat, which paths animals followed, and how to predict seasonal changes. Observation became a form of survival science, passed down through generations by mimicry and example. Mothers taught their young how to gather safely, while the strongest hunters showed the group how to track prey. Life was short and uncertain, but knowledge was a gift that kept their kind alive. This sharing of wisdom laid the foundation for education and culture in its most primitive form. Eventually, fire entered the human story, changing everything. Once early humans learned how to control flames, they gained warmth, protection, and the ability to cook food. Cooked meat provided more energy and nutrients, allowing brains to grow larger and more efficient. Firelight extended the day, offering time for bonding, planning, and even storytelling. It also kept predators away, giving humans a rare sense of safety during the night. This new mastery of nature was a defining moment, setting humanity on a path toward dominance over its environment. Life 4.7 million years ago was filled with constant struggle, but it was also a time of discovery and transformation. Every hardship forced early humans to adapt, to think, and to find new ways to endure. From building the first tools to forming small social groups, these prehistoric ancestors laid the foundation of human progress. Their instincts for survival evolved into curiosity and creativity, qualities that would eventually shape the future of our species. In their struggle to live another day, they unknowingly began the long journey toward civilization, proving that even in the harshest times, the spark of humanity can find a way to survive and sustain life.